Alright, well, I'm installing the threshold material now. This is an area where you kind of don't want to make any mistakes because this stuff is about $6 and change a foot. When you buy it, it's actually too tall right here, so it will stick up above the floor. So you need to cut it off to match whatever floor thickness you have. So you need to determine that and then run it through a table saw and take some of it off. So when you do put it on, it sits flat on the subfloor and also sits flat on the wood floor itself. And at that point, I cut one of them to length. I came in here to undercut this right here with this draw saw. I put some tape out here to protect my jamb so I wouldn't have to do any touch up or very minimal at that. And then laid the saw on here and cut down and took that piece out so it slides right underneath it. I did have to cut back here all the way across with a multi-tool because it was way too far out there. So now this piece will slide right in. And it will be installed just like that. So it will finish off real nice around here. To attach it, you don't want it attached to this floor at all. I'm attaching it to the concrete so this floor can move up underneath it. So where there is an expansion gap that I left between here and the actual edge of the floor, maybe 3/8 of an inch or so. And I'm using the proper construction adhesive to put this down, which would be compatible with wood concrete. I believe it's a Loctite product. So I've got all of them worked up now. I will apply some sealer underneath, but you want to be careful not to put so much on there that it will come across and contact this floor and prevent it from being able to move. Alright, well, we have the carpet installed. This actually happened sooner than anticipated. The gentleman we bought the carpet from only uses 2 installers. The one that was slated to do the work, supposedly super fast, super good, in and out. The ones that actually came to do the work, super good, but a little bit slower to get in and out. I don't mind slow and steady. That's what I prefer because it does help minimize collateral damage here and there, which are things that I have to fix. We were told that they were going to show up on a certain day, which was today. We were told we would receive a 30-minute advance warning phone call that they were headed this direction. We did. They showed up on time, prepared with everything they needed to do the work. We walked around, discussed the scope of everything that was going to take place, addressed any questions or problem areas that we might have discovered. And the plan was stuck to, and it went exactly as discussed, the way it should. Now apparently this installer has been training his replacement for 2 or 3 years or so, which turned out to be a younger gun, 26 I believe, that he's wanting to retire, so he's going to pass off his business and clients and whatnot to him. And I thought that was pretty cool of him to do that. They did a great job. The younger guns, 2 of them, did the lion's share of the work, but everybody did work. So the end results are their efforts, and it turned out just great. Now these are how jobs are supposed to go. You're told what's going to happen and in which order and in which way, and it should happen that way with minimal surprises and no guessing. So at the end of the day, I told the younger guy, if this is the level of quality and professionalism that I can expect on other jobs potentially in the future, I'll be more than happy to give him my business to help him get rolling. Knowing the carpet crew was going to be in today, I went ahead and pre-staged all my doors to get them ready to hang. Just got all the hinges on here. They're going to go up now, and then I'll install the door hardware, and this finally will be the last time I move these things around. Well, I'm going to throw in a couple tips here on how I hang doors by myself. It might be helpful to other folks. I guess the typical inclination would be to drive this hinge pin out, separate the hinge, put one on the door, put one on the jamb, and then muscle it up there and hold it around and try not to pinch your fingers, and then put the hinge pins back in, maybe starting from the top and working your way down. Well, this is the way I do it, especially in a situation like this where everything is going in pretty much brand new. I mount the hinge on the door first and make sure all the flaps are, of course, on this inside. Then what I do is place the door in the hole, bringing this into the opposite room, caulking it, And what that effectively does is rest that on the ground. I tweak it enough, tilt it enough to where I have one of the hinge holes too high. And while holding this, I tap the door over at the bottom with my foot to lower this down until I can see one of these holes in the center. Then I steady it with my hands, I bend over and I pick up my screw gun that already has a screw in it, and I run this screw in, but not all the way. You can see it's still very loose here. At that point, I move down to the bottom hinge, kick it the rest of the way, and get this hinge in the mortise and put one screw. Then I move back up to the top, because it'll typically be a space where it's wanting to fall that direction. Pull the door over and finish running this screw, put the screw in the center hinge, and then run the rest of the screws in. It's just an easier way to do it than trying to separate all of this and then get it all back together. And it's actually a lot faster. All the doors have been installed, hardware and all. It really does look nice. I wish the camera would do better justice and I could get the whole thing in there. It's just daylight and dark between person and what my camera will do. I went ahead and installed the bathroom doors knowing full well I was going to take them off again to do the tile work, but I figured in their jambs would be the safest place for them. Everything looks really nice in my opinion. I really do like these archtop doors. Well, I did find a problem in my door openings that I need to correct. This is no fault of mine nor the carpet installation crew, but more so the construction adhesive. For some reason it let go and my thresholds came loose, so when they were coming up and kicking the carpet in to get it over the tack strip and then tuck it down, I guess it moved over, so now it's too far out this way. I'd mentioned it needs to be in the center, so when you close the door you will not see the carpet. The viewfinder may not pick it up, but I can see it. And they're pretty much all the same way. I don't know why it let go. I put some on there and weighted it down with a bucket for 24 hours, and it was a good 48 before they showed up. So more than likely what I'm going to need to do here to remedy the situation is untuck and unhook this carpet off the tack strip, move this over, reseal it down, let it cure real good, and then kick this back on and then trim off any excess. I'll go ahead and handle that myself, no big deal. It's kind of a bummer, you know, I had everything right where it was supposed to be, but one of those things, but I'll take care of it. I also got the rest of all the baseboard installed. It's all been nailed off and holes filled. I need to do a little bit of caulking and then of course paint touch up.